The greatest Royal Rumble is 2 weeks away, a little over 2 weeks away, and we have a lot of matches to go over. First of all, I just want to make something clear. A lot of these are kind of more updates because of WrestleMania. For example, the Raw Tag Team Championships are now vacant due to Braun Strowman and his partner Nicholas, who was a fourth grader who, after doing some research, was the son of referee John Cone, but never explained that way in storyline. Had to vacate the title because, of course, he's in the fucking fourth grade. And that's a big commitment, be it in school, as we all know. And, it's better for him to stay in school than to be a WWE superstar, even though he would pay for his college and then some with the money they would pay him under contract. But nonetheless, it's an honorable thing to do. But because of that, Sheamus and Cesaro do not face the Broken Hearters anymore. In fact, they face the winner of the Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt versus Revival match next week, which is why we can't talk about that until that happens. But a lot of big matches nonetheless that we can talk about. For instance, it was originally going to be The Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match. However, Lana will not allow her husband to compete in that match for some reason. So, probably for the first time in forever, we have an even greater match at this greatest Royal Rumble. The Undertaker will face Chris Jericho in a casket match. We have not seen a casket match in a very long time, so for those people that are newer to wrestling, basically, it's literally a casket match. You have to put your opponent in the casket and shut the lid to win. Anything goes other than that. But the only rule is you must put your opponent in the casket, shut the lid, and lock. And depending if the casket has locks, I doubt. Some do, some don't. It just depends on how you want to do it. You can lock it, or somehow ensure that the said person will not leave the casket. That's an extra step if you want to go that far. But basically, put your opponent in the casket and you win. But you must shut the lid and you must subdue him enough to where he will not stop you from forcing him into the casket. And this is Jericho's first match, not counting the Royal Rumble, because Jericho will also be in the Greatest Royal Rumble. His first match, I believe, since the Omega versus Alpha match at New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 10. Or not 10, 12, excuse me. 12, and there was a great match, potentially a match of the year candidate for sure. But this is a match we have not seen in WWE for quite some time, probably over a decade. In a one-on-one capacity, they probably interacted at Royal Rumbles in the past, but not actually one-on-one. And this is the Undertaker's match. He's back after defeating John Cena in a match that we didn't even know was going to happen at WrestleMania until that night, where Cena was destroyed in under 5 minutes. Maybe even 5 minutes, or maybe a little over. I don't remember, but it was 5 minutes or less, for sure. So, I don't know if that means Undertaker's going to be in a limited capacity, because that match was probably the best he's had in a long time. I mean, it was great. It was really great. And, that being said, The Undertaker will probably win this because this is his match. However, he has lost casket matches before, so I'm not actually surprised if Jericho. It just depends how active Jericho wants to be in WWE. Because also, he has a match with Naito down the line if he does want to do that. So it depends, that could be a way to write him off as well. So he can do the thing with Naito. Next up, there's not really a change. It's more of what I said last time. With Seth Rollins being the new Intercontinental Champion, he will then face Finn Balor, the former champion The Miz, and Samoa Joe in this match that was originally a Fatal 4-Way, but is now a Fatal 4-Way ladder match. So again, much like the NXT ladder match, you grab the belt, you pull it down, you win. It's that simple. Anything else goes. But with that being said, I mean, my prediction right now was concurrent to what I said last week. It was depending who won at WrestleMania. So Rollins will retain the title, but I would pick Joe as a dark horse just to see him with the title. But Rollins needs to hold this. He's technically a Raw Grand Slam winner, besides not winning the Universal title before it was introduced. He didn't need it, so that's why they've been calling him a Grand Slam winner recently. It'd be great for him to have a Universal title, but, you know, for this particular Grand Slam, he didn't need it at this point. But nonetheless, like I said, Rollins will retain. If not, Joe will probably win it. And, yep, here we go. The SmackDown Tag Titles. The new champions, the Bludgeon Brothers, will face the Usos. The Usos won a couple nights ago in a number one contender match, even though they had their obligatory rematch clause. So they had to earn it nonetheless. However, the Bludgeon Brothers, I don't see them losing the belts for a very long time. They have to be dominant like they have been over the past few months. So they will win for sure. Next up is the Greatest Royal Rumble, as we have new additions. So we can't really pick a winner, but you can kind of do this Royal Rumble style like we did with the Andre Battle Royal and the Women's Battle Royal. For example, the Baron Corbin will be in this battle. I'm sorry, Kurt Angle. Baron Corbin also in it, but Kurt Angle is in it, and this will be his first Royal Rumble match since 2005, technically, since 2005. So Angle could win it, but he's also the Raw General Manager, so it could be a conflict of interest. Because, again, we don't know what the winner gets. Potentially a title shot at SummerSlam, that would be ideal. But if you want to push SummerSlam that way, and just make a road to SummerSlam, but, you know, that'd be great, because Angle would have a title shot at that point. But I don't know if that would happen. But Angle would be probably one of the final 8, maybe, if not final 4, if you really wanted to push him that way. Baron Corbin, there's 50 men in here. I don't think he'll win it, but he'll make a big impact nonetheless. All of the New Day are in this, so Big E, Xavier, and Kofi. They're just in it for the Kofi spot, really. It would be great for one of them to win, but I don't think it'll happen. I'm just interested to see what the Kofi spot will be, because this is, again, 50 people in here, so you could have multiple spots if you wanted to. Chris Jericho, depending if he wins the casket match, he will be in this, as I assume. He'll be in it regardless, because we'll have to fish him out of the casket, because I guess he's confirmed in this, so you have, win or lose, he can still be in the Rumble. And depending on that match with The Undertaker, will depend if he is a part of it. Jericho, I feel, will win nonetheless. You know, if you really want to push him that way, it's a big return for Jericho. It could happen. But I don't, again, Final 8, Final 4 potentially. Apollo Crews, you know, is probably here to make up the numbers. I don't think he'll do it, but if they really want to do it, they can. Same with Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin should have been pushed as a world champion a long time ago, maybe a decade ago, to make that big next young star. But again, it's more making up the numbers, much like Sin Cara, Hunicara. Hunico under the mask, still Sin Cara. And again, I'm here to make up the numbers and just make some spots here. Elias, kind of the same deal. But, you know, if you really want to push Elias, you can have him win this Royal Rumble and make him a bigger star than he should be, in my opinion. Even though he could be a great star nonetheless. And when we come back, we'll talk about more of the entrants in the Royal Rumble, the Greatest Royal Rumble.